This is the worst shell former I have ever seen. So, in the world, there are many questions in life that shouldn't be asked. For example, what if Bumblebee was an e-girl? Well, today we will be answering that question with the CS01 Little B figure by Collection Space. I got this from TF Safari. Make sure to use this code and check this site out. If you told me Bumblebee should be a robot anime girl, I would tell you you're absolutely insane, but you're also absolutely correct. Like, imagine if in the first Transformers movie, instead of this, we got this. This movie would have made $1 billion. Wait, no, with inflation, it did make over $1 billion. Remember when people actually went to movie theaters? This is a very interesting figure for all you Coomers, Gooners, and Jelkmaxers out there. I own way too many of these types of figures. That doesn't mean I'm gonna stop though. This figure also has a lot of problems too. We'll start with one of the major ones. The transformation is absolutely insane.
This is bullshit.
Just a heads up, I may not be able to do the vehicle mode correctly in this video, but I still want to make a video about this figure, and there's not much to say about the vehicle mode anyways, except for the fact that you can completely detach it from the robot mode and have it by itself next to the robot mode.
What?
The figure itself has taken the classic Bumblebee look and fused it with an e-girl. Aesthetically, this figure reminds me of the Fire Toys Windblade model kit. This one I own is actually a knockoff action figure version of it. Side by side, you could be fooled into thinking these are created by the same company, but you'd be wrong. And even though I do like the way this figure looks, let's continue with talking about a lot of the bad. So these hands are insanely loose and keep popping off, and these are about as much as I can get them in there. So this is really annoying when you're trying to pose and transform the figure. The feet also keep coming off, and this is especially annoying during the transformation. And this piece that connects to her ass doesn't really have the strongest connection either. You really gotta like peg it in there. I think I need to push harder. We'll deal with that later. But anyways, my biggest issue with the figure is the transformation. It's really difficult to do correctly and to get all the pieces to line up properly. I'll attempt it again in this video, but with my level of brain rot, I'm not sure how much I will succeed. Also, this figure is basically a shell former. That's not what I meant. The robot mode itself just folds up inside the car mode. All the car bits minus the front wheels over here are these pieces that attach to the back. This is 99% of the car mode, and it's honestly really kind of disappointing. This top piece has an unnecessary amount of folding going on, which makes the figure extra complicated. I do like how they made the back kind of resemble wings, I will give it that. It really seems like this figure wasn't initially designed as being a transforming figure, and then they realized, hey, maybe we should make a Transformers figure transform? I don't know, it just feels like the sex appeal of this figure took a bigger priority than the Transformers part of this figure. Now let's get to the general design of the figure. She does look very good. It really does go for the anime girl aesthetic. She also has a very slim and slender appearance, similar to the Windblade. You can definitely tell she is meant to be a girl. Her general colors are the yellow and the black, with some silver and blue throughout it. Also, there is a Cliffjumper variant. I'm hoping Collection Space does make more Transformers figures in this style. Just please make the transformation easier. Like, imagine if we got a sexy RC. Oh wait, never mind, we do have one. Well, what about a sexy Megatron? Wait, no, I actually have that one right over here. Leave a comment if you want to see that. Well, now what about a sexy Optimus Prime? I mean, he already is sexy as is. Oh wait, I forgot about her. Well, we don't have sexy Grimlock yet, so hopefully a company does that. Now this figure has a very angular design to it as opposed to the G1 boxy style. The angular style does remind me a bit of the Transformers Prime universe aesthetic. There was clearly effort put into the looks of this figure, just not the transformation. Which is why I'm not too worried about the transformation and vehicle mode in this video, and totally not because I'm incapable of doing it. I swear, I'm not the only one who's had trouble with this. The plastic quality is decent on this figure, could be maybe a little bit better. The head sculpt on this figure is absolutely fantastic, very clean looking, and definitely resembles Bumblebee. The back does have some black over there to separate it up. We also do have these classic horns, which definitely seems a bit larger than usual. Bumblebee's horns aren't normally that big. These ones seem like Demon Succubus horns, which, by the way, I'm gonna do a little friend plug here. My friend makes these really neat Succubus horns on Etsy, along with some other cool stuff. You should check him out. Link in the description. I love the shiny blue on the forehead, and it looks even better on the eyes. They are very, very reflective, so you can see yourself in them and any self-regret you may have had for being a degenerate and buying this figure. The rest of the face is a basic anime style sculpt, and it has that flesh skin tone to it, which is a little weird to see on a robot. Now we do get three other face pieces. We have the regular face called Normal, the happy face called Laugh, the mouth open face, it's called Roar. I'm not gonna lie, this one is a little sus. And then we have the tongue out Ahegao girl style face. This one is called Grimace for some reason.
What's wrong, Ronald Coon? Could it be your
Raven by Big Doggies.
She also comes with 2 peace sign hand pieces, so you know exactly what this kind of expression was meant for. I'm just going to use the normal face, and to replace the face, we just take out this piece over here, pull out the face piece, and we can put in the new one. Put that back on. Now we get a bit of neck detail down over here that does look a little bit mechanical. Articulation wise, the head is on a ball joint, so it can look up and down, and we do get a rotation, side to side movement, and the neck can move back and forth. So what you can do that sucking, you know, I'm not going to make that joke. The chest area has some prominent features. Boobs, I'm talking about her boobs. I do like some of the intricacy here along the collarbone and in the middle. It kind of looks like a bug face, and you're not going to unsee that now. There's a bit more blue in the middle, as well as some blue decals on the side. The entire yellow chest area feels like it's meant to resemble a crop top shirt that shows off a bit of midriff, because let's be honest, the black is meant to resemble the exposed skin section of a person, while the yellow is supposed to be the clothing or armor. Interesting how these bits are meant to look like it's cupping her boobs. The back here does look really weird around the shoulder areas. However, I do like some of the spinal detail over here. The abdomen area does have a very human-like and has a toned look to it. In terms of movement, there is no waist rotation, which is kind of weird, but we do get rotation up here at the chest to make up for the lack of waist rotation. We can move the abs back and forth, and the chest can also move back and forth. Very squeaky. We also have the shoulder pads, which do look very nice and have some blue decals on them. These can move up and down. We have some slender arms with some die-cast joints over here connecting to a yellow armored looking arm piece with once again some of that nice blue decals, which I really do like the color of blue this figure has on it. For the arm articulation, it can move back all the way there as part of the transformation. We can also get a full 360 rotation, bicep rotation, elbow bend, which is on a double hinge. The hands are on a ball joint, which once again it will constantly pop off. There is some yellow paint on here, but the paint matching isn't the best. The open hands have a very similar sculpt to the Windblade figure. In terms of hand pieces though, we do get the peace sign hands, the fisty hands for fisting, and the weapon holding hands for the accessories, which we will get to later. Luckily, all these other hands don't have that issue of looseness. The hip area has a nice design to it. This is definitely supposed to resemble a bikini bottom. Once again, some nice blue decals. The skirt pieces on the side can move out as some bit of articulation, and if we turn her around, she does have some cake. The legs are pretty slender and have some really cool decals to them. As much as I hate bugs, I do like how this one is kind of like a bug design. More decals further down, and I do like how there's kind of a B hexagonal pattern going on here. It also says love and peace, and hey, I also love peace. On the back of the legs, these are the wheels for the front of the vehicle mode, the only vehicle mode cable piece on this figure. Knee pads look really cool, very sci-fi like. Once again, I like how it's not just one color. The rest of the leg designs, we do have some more yellow bits back here, some more decals, pretty simple stuff. The legs can move forward, they can be brought out to the side. It does this as part of the transformation, and the hand has fallen off. That's great. Legs can move back over there. We get a knee bend, which goes about right over there. Coming down to her feet, she has heels, which are great for fighting wars in. This piece of blue also looks really cool. Feet can spin around and move back and forth, and these back heels can move. This blue piece can also move. Now, we are not done with the robot mode. To attach the back pieces, this one goes in on the back, and let's see if we can fully get it in this time. And I think we do need to just kind of push it in. Oh, fuck. God fucking damn it. Yeah, a lot of problems with this figure. Okay, let's try this again. Okay, it clicked in this time. Hopefully it stays in, because yeah. Oh, that's the wrong way. All right, for this, the back of the car mode should be facing up with these taillights. This should also click in. And the connection on this I found to be really sturdy. And with this on, the figure looks kinda worse. It's got a bunch of the vehicle mode cables stuck to the back now. She's got an even bigger dumpy now. And she is also a bit back heavy. And as stated before, this is 99% of the vehicle mode. I would have preferred these bits to be incorporated on the actual body of the robot mode, even if it meant we got a less feminine looking design. But once again, I do like how the back kibble kind of somewhat resembles that of a bee, and these are optional for the robot mode, which is nice if you want to display it without these pieces. It does make it also kind of parts forming, which is a major Transformers sin, but it's also not really parts forming, because to transform this, you need to have the pieces plugged in, and you can sort of adjust this to make it look better however you want. I'm not really gonna bother with it. Once again, it is just disappointing that this is the entire vehicle mode and everything just kind of folds in on itself. So accessories wise, we do get a really cool looking shield. I love the design on this and all the colors. It's very sleek looking. And this does have a place at the bottom of the vehicle mode. I'm not gonna bother with that. We also get two really neat looking blasters. I love the design on this. It's very sci-fi like. And lastly, we get a stand, which is amazing because she falls over like a tree with that backpack. And we do get accessory storage with it, so that's awesome. Oops. Hold on. There we go. Now the transformation for this figure is such a pain in the ass. That seems to be everyone's experience, but I will attempt to do it again on video to the best of my ability. This is going to be a make fun of Mecha Z moment. So we can start off with coming over to the back. Hand is already fallen. Pull this out and align these bits for the front of the car. Line this up, and now we need to rotate it this way, and then this rotates that way. And then we just kind of line this up, bring these flaps out of the way. Then we can worry about adjusting all that later. Move those hip skirts out of the way. Take this leg, bring it out like that, and do that. Flip this open, take this wheel, bring it forward, and then unfold that. Same on this side, open that flap, wheel forward, unfold that. Open this on the back of the leg, rotate it this way. Rotate the leg inward, making sure this blue bit is up. Now we need to try and fold the leg in half, which can be kind of a pain with all these pieces in the way, and this one has popped off. I am doing the other leg now, and it's such a pain in the ass because all the pieces keep getting in the way. Now I believe for both legs, we need to take this out and flip it around and bring it up. I will probably have to readjust that later. We can now kind of do the front of the vehicle mode and get these pieces tabbed in. Rotate her head around, unfold all this over here and get this to line up. Her hand is popped off again. And then once again do the same on the other side. You probably can't see this, but we need to fold the arms in here. So it needs to look kind of like this. If this part isn't folded properly, then the figure itself won't transform. And as you can see, all these panels are a pain in the ass. So now really the rest of this involves just unfolding everything. So this is supposed to come out here. We can unfold this, unfold that. Let's see, you can unfold this piece, unfold that. And this is such an interesting piece. This is made of some like rubber material. And then once again, we're going to proceed to unfold everything over here as well. Transforming it back into robot mode like this was also a pain, so hopefully all these parts were initially correct. Good lord, the hand has fallen off again. I am trying my best here. Okay, so this needs to extend out and go over here, kind of connect everything. And now we're just going to want to do the exact same thing on this side of the figure. And I'm telling you, it is such a pain in the ass to do all this. I hate transforming this thing. At this point, it's kind of easy to tell where all the parts need to go. We're essentially just lining everything up. This needs to rotate around. This should tab into here. And we've essentially unfolded everything. Now it's just a matter of getting everything to line up. I'm giving up with the hands at this point. Now initially, you might think it's easier to remove the pieces and transform them. I did try that and it was still a pain. And if you have any solutions on how to transform this figure properly, leave a comment below. Because this is pretty difficult, or I could just be an idiot. So this is popped off, and I also just realized this needs to be pointing this way. Don't forget to do that. So now let's see if we can actually get things to line up. So now that snaps in better, sort of. When everything is just shitty, flimsy panels, it's hard to get anything to line up properly. Yeah, this is about as good as I can get it. I'm not gonna bother with this anymore. In the pictures, if you can actually get this properly transformed, it does look really good. It is a Volkswagen, well, her ass is now showing. It is a Volkswagen Beetle. The vehicle mode would look good if this wasn't such a pain in the ass. And the size is pretty good. And then underneath, these are supposed to close up and her boobs are supposed to be showing through this gap over here. So like if you are able to get it properly, honestly, this figure's not really worth transforming because the transformation is absolutely garbage. And would you look at that? I finally got it. Well, this is what I mean by the figure is a shell former. If you want proper transformation instructions, there are other videos out there, and those people also struggle. This wasn't actually meant to be a tutorial, so I think the base robot mode is pretty fantastic, and that's how I'm going to be displaying it too. Thank you to my patrons, and if you're interested in that Windblade figure, check out that video over here.